Hi guys, this is Mr. Gonzalez. I'm here to tell you a little bit about The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. It is a very historical book that I want you guys to be reading right now. I really like and I'm enjoying the book, and I wanted to read you guys a little excerpt so that way you could make the connections. One would be to make a connection from the text to the text. Number two, I want you guys to make the connection from the text to yourself, because I want you guys to make a big connection with the text to your own lives. And then number three, I want you guys to make a connection with the community around you. So make sure that you guys are doing that as well when you start reading the book. And right now I'm going to read you a little bit of it. Again, Alexander Dumas' The Count of Monte Cristo. I'm going to read you a little bit of the introduction, just to give you a little heads up as to what the story is about. It's on the introduction from the book. There you go. Introduction. So there you go. Le Comte de Monte Cristo, or The Count of Monte Cristo, began serialization in the Journal des Débats in 1844 and was published in book form in 1846. Shortly after The Three Musketeers, which is one of his most famous books, and arguably did even better than its predecessor. The effect of the serials, which held vast audiences, enthralled each member separately but simultaneously, is unlike any experience of reading we are likely to have known ourselves. Maybe something like that of a particularly gripping television series. So it was a predecessor to the series, guys, to the television series that we see today. Day after day at breakfast or at work or on the street, people talked of little else. One then famous man, reading in bed, woke up his wife to announce that Edmond Dantes had escaped from the Chateau d'If, which is what you'll be reading later on. The Count of Monte Cristo was translated into virtually all modern languages and has never been out of print in most of them. There have been at least 29 motion pictures based on it, many in the silent era, but one as recently in 2002, the one that I want you guys also to remember, with Jim Caviezel, Guy Pearce, and a lot of different other characters, as well as several television series and many movies that worked the name Monte Cristo into their titles. Capitalizing on the aura of the novel without sharing any but the most cursory aspects of the story. The name has been given to a famous gold mine, a line of luxury Cuban cigars, a sandwich, we all know, the Monte Cristo sandwich, and any number of bars and casinos. It even lurks in the name of the street corner hustle three-card Monte. The name exudes adventure, mystery, and vast wealth, and it triggers a Pavlovian response in great numbers of people who have never read the book. For better or worse, The Count of Monte Cristo, the book, has become a fixture of Western civilization's literature, as inescapable and immediately identifiable as Mickey Mouse, Noah's Flood, and the story of Little Red Riding Hood. So again, guys, this book, you want to make sure that you're reading it and making the connections. You will learn about Edmond Dantes, and you want to make the connections from the text to yourself. So you want to make sure that you're connecting with the character of Edmond Dantes, Mercedes Mondego, Count Fernand Mondego, and Monsieur Gerard de Villefort. Okay? You may also want to make the connections to Napoleon Bonaparte. Make the connections between Edmond Dantes, and since we're talking about Tudor Britain, you want to make the connection to King Henry VIII. He is very, very going to be closely associated. These are very historical novels, and you're going to be able to make that connection from one to the other. Then, to make a connection outside, make a connection to yourself. What kind of characteristics does Edmond Dantes portray? He's swashbuckling. He goes from rags to riches, which we see in very different ways that you're going to be reading the book. We see him having the love of his life and then losing it due to a misunderstanding. Once he meets Abbe Feria, the priest, it'll arm him to be a stronger person, which we see that in King Henry VIII. I want you to make the connection between King Henry VIII and Edmond Dantes in that way. Make the connections of him being a swashbuckling hero, as well as a well-portrayed man in looking for the love of his life. Make the connection between Mercedes and Henry and his queens. Lastly, I want you to make the connection between the community outside. Make the connection between what is now Tudor Britain, what we're studying now, and the time period between Edmond Dantes and the Count of Monte Cristo. So I want you to make those three connections, guys, in learning about the story. Make sure you read the entire story as much as possible, and you will be writing a summary later on in a little bit in the weeks to come. I want you to learn a little bit more about the Count of Monte Cristo himself and who Edmond Dantes is, and make those connections to Tudor Britain and King Henry VIII. So I hope that this is worthwhile. It gives you a little bit of insight into what I want you guys to read. It's a little bit of the introduction, so it should hopefully get you guys to reading the book. So good luck, have fun with the book, and I will see you later. Take care.